Hey guys, so I'm starting out today doing some background stamping with Archival Ink in watering can, which is a nice gray ink, and some stamps that I had gotten maybe a year or so ago from a Studio Calico Project Life Kit. So unfortunately, you can't get them anymore. So sorry about that, but I'm trying to in my endeavor to art journal every day in November, I'm trying to use up supplies that I've forgotten about or don't use often, so that's why I pulled these out. And I have seen, if you go on like eBay and search for Studio Calico stamps or Studio Calico kit stamps, sometimes people do sell like older stamps from kits and stuff. Of course, they are sometimes pretty pricey, but sometimes they're reasonable, so you could give it a shot if you're really hard pressed to get this stamp. If not, I mean, you could use any kind of floral stamp you have. Anything kind of floral or any stamp really would work, just as long as it's centered in the middle of the page. What I'm going for is kind of like a vertical line in the middle of my page, not completely straight, but concentrated in the middle of my page. Now I have a Finnabair stencil and some Ranger texture paste, and I'm just applying that right on top of my stamping. It's going to cover it up a little bit, excuse me, but not completely, so you're still going to be able to see the stamping through it. Now I have Distress Ink in Picket Fence and also Abandoned Coral. And my Picket Fence is a little bit older, so the dauber top has kind of dried out and you can't apply paint through it anymore, which is fine because I just used my paintbrush to kind of drip the paint in the middle of the Abandoned Coral, and it worked just fine. I got a little overspray from when I sprayed my water, so I wanted to keep the edges of my page really crisp and white, so I just sprayed some water while the paint was still wet and wiped that away with a paper towel. Once that layer was dry, now I am going in with just the Picket Fence on top to kind of tone down that Abandoned Coral color. Just a little bit. And this is a Viva Las Vegas stamp. It's called Find Your Way. It's like a little hand pointing and it says Find Your Way. And I just popped him over on the side. And then this is like a sentiment stamp, and it's like a saying about perseverance and hard work and stuff. But I'm using it just partially as like a background stamp, so I'm holding it kind of curved and just stamping it randomly, so you can't see the whole sentiment. It just looks a little distressed, and you can make out words here or there of it. This is some silver thread, and I'm just bunching it up on my page. And then I'm layering my elements on top of it that I'm going to use. Now I'm stamping that sentiment stamp on some white cardstock because I'm going to cut it out and use it as my main sentiment. I like to do that with little elements, kind of like repetition. Repetition is one like a design principle that helps pull things together. So when you use an element more than once, like this sentiment stamp in the background and then again as like the main focal sentiment, it just helps things look a little bit more cohesive. So I have the girl that I have there is called Dancing Lady. She's by Viva Las Vegas Stamps. This clock is a Tim Holtz Movers and Shapers die, and it's just die cut with some black cardstock. And these leafy things are a Sizzix Sizzlits die called Branches. And I'm just applying them with some clear tacky glue. I cut out the sentiment and I inked all the edges with some gray ink, and now I'm just going to arrange it on my page how I want it. And I followed the line, like when I cut it apart, I followed the lines of how the stamp was, but once I put it on my page, I decided to kind of cut it up a little more. I don't know, it just didn't look quite like I wanted it to when it was originally the way I put it down on the page. So I just cut it up a little, and then I'm gonna stick everything down with that same tacky glue. Now I'm popping on some coral colored enamel dots, some mirrored stars by Tim Holtz, and I got out these like gems that I got from an Etsy shop, Marami Small Art. If you are familiar with her, I'm sure you are. She has a YouTube channel here, and she has an Etsy shop, and I got them from her, and I love them, but it's, I always have to, I put a whole bunch of embellishments down, then I always have to pull myself back. So I put some down and then I took some away, but I did add more enamel dots and, yeah, just more enamel dots. And that's, oh, I'm going to add my date stamp now, and that finishes my page for today. This page was from November 9th, and, yeah, so thank you so much for watching. There will be all the products listed down below in the description box. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope you enjoyed my page today. Bye-bye, guys.